Good morning and or afternoon, algebra class. Since I am not there today, you get the privilege of listening to a lesson on a video. Today we're going to learn multiplying polynomials because we've been working on adding and subtracting, so multiplying is the next step. By the end of the video, you're going to be able to multiply something like this times something like that, two polynomials. And we're multiplying them together because there's no sign in between. But we're going to start out a little bit more basic than that. We're going to start with some basic distribution that you already know. So for example, 3 times the quantity x plus 2. You know, because we've done it 100 times, that you distribute like that. So we're going to have 3 times x, and 3 times 2, which is 3x plus 6. And you've distributed. Things look slightly different if you have the variable outside. But it's still the same method here. So it'd be x squared plus x times 4, which we write 4x. And that's as simple as that gets. X squared and 4x are not like terms. They do not combine. So the answer is just x squared plus 4x. We can get a little fancier by having one term on the outside but 3 terms on the inside. And we're still just distributing the 5 to each term. So it becomes 5x squared plus 20x, because 5 times 4 is 20, minus 35. I notice these are all separate terms. They're not like terms. They do not combine. So that's your answer there, is 5x squared plus 20x minus 35. Okay, so now let's get into some new stuff. We're going to multiply 2 binomials like that. X plus 4 quantity times x plus 2 times x plus 4. So this time we're still going to distribute. We're going to distribute the x to both the terms. But then we're also going to we also have to distribute the 2 to both terms. So this is a double distribution. So we're going to have x times x. Okay, so we have x times x for the first term, plus 4 times x for the second term. And then if we do the bottom ones, 2 times x, and then 2 times 4. So we're going to write those in, we're going to simplify that here. X squared plus 4x plus 2x plus 8. But notice that these 2 terms in the middle are both x's, so they are like terms, so we need to combine them. So the final answer is x squared plus 6x plus 8. So you have just double distributed. Let's do one more together before you do one on your own. This one is going to have a negative in it. So we're going to have x minus 5 times x plus 3. So we've got to distribute the x to both terms. And then you got to distribute this negative 5 to both terms. Be careful with that. We know how fun negatives are. So we're going to have x times x squared. And then we're going to do x plus 3. Or sorry, x times 3, which is 3x. Then we'll do the bottom one, so negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And negative 5 plus times positive 3 is negative 15. Negative 5 times 3. We still ended up with these 2 terms in the middle that are the same. So final answer, x squared plus, nope, not plus. x squared minus 2x minus 15. Okay, let's just do one more. One that has two negatives in it, just so you can see what happens there. So x minus 2 times x minus 1. Double distribute. So we have x squared minus 1x. And they'll do the bottom, so it's negative 2 times x, so it's negative 2x. And then this last was negative 2 times negative 1, which is positive 2. Because a negative times a negative is positive. Combine those two like terms in the middle. X squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay, let's try this one on your own. X plus 7 times x plus 3. Okay. Sometimes you have the x with a number in front of it. So that doesn't affect the process. It's just going to be a little bit more tricky because you have more numbers to worry about, but let's show you what it looks like. Same method, distribute on the top, distribute on the bottom. So we've got each term going to each one. So there's 4 terms. That means there's 4 distribution lines. We'll start with 3x times 5, 15x, 3x times positive 1, 3x, negative 4 times 5x, negative 20x, and negative 4 times positive 1, negative 4. Just like every single time, we end up with these 2 in the middle. Whoa, I messed up. 15x squared. I guess there's nobody here to catch me. Let's see. 3 minus 20 is negative 17, and minus 4. So that is your final polynomial. 15x squared minus 17x minus 4. Okay, at the beginning of the video, I said we would be able to multiply something like this. One with 2 terms, and one with 3 terms. Well, you sure can. If you can do double distribution, you can do this. Because it's still just double. We're going to take x times the first term, x times the second term, and x times the third term. And then you do negative 3 times every term. Make sure every term is connected in some way. Go ahead and multiply that out. So we're going to take x times 3x squared. So that's 3x cubed. X times 3x, 3x squared, x times 6. And then we're going to do the multiple times 3. Negative 3 times 3x squared, negative 9x squared, negative 3 times 3x, negative 9x, and negative 3 times 6, negative 18. We've got a little bit more combining to do here. We've got 3x squared and 9x squared. We've got 6. Oops, there's a mistake again. It's supposed to be 6x. 6x and 9x. The 3x cubed and the 18 are fine. They don't have anything to combine with. So 3x cubed, not plus. Minus 6x squared, because this one and this one are minus 6, minus 3x, and then minus 18. All the like terms have been combined. Why don't you try one? Let's go ahead and do the distribution for this one. Make sure you distribute the first term to all 3, and the second term to all 3. And then go ahead and finish working that one out. But you can actually just multiply any two polynomials. For this example, would be triple distribution. So we're going to have 3 sets of lines. So we got from x squared to 5. Then we'll have from 4x to all 3 terms. And then we would have a third distribution set, the 6 to all 3 terms. Things get a little hairy when you keep adding things, but it's totally possible. So let's do the white distribution lines first. So it'll be 2x to the 4th. And then x cubed. And then the last one is x squared times -5, which is -5x squared. And then if we do the gold ones, be -4 times 2x squared, so that's -8x cubed, x times x squared. And then -4x squared. And -4x times -5 is +20x. And then we have the red lines. So it's 6 times 2, that's 12x squared plus 6x minus 30. And then, of course, you have to be really careful when you combine like terms. We've got an x cubed here and x cubed here. We've got x squareds, and x squareds. And then we have a couple of just plain x's. So it's 2x to the 4th plus 1, -8, -7, -7x cubed. So let's change this plus to a minus, -7x cubed. And then we got the x squared, so we got -5 minus 4, that's -9, plus 12, that's +3x squared. And then our regular x's, so I got 20 plus 6, so that's +26x minus 30. So like I said, it takes a little bit more work, but it can totally be done. Any two polynomials can be multiplied together using this method. You just have to be careful that you get all your distribution lines in place and then combine like terms and you're done. There's a couple more problems for you to answer in the video, and then you go back to your agenda and follow the next assignment. Okay, this is just a double distribution, but notice that one of them has the x squared and one of them doesn't. So be careful when you're combining like terms. This one is going to have those 6 lines of distribution. All right, good job, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that helped, and I hope it got through to you. We will definitely be doing more practice on this tomorrow in class. See you then.